Well, good morning there. Or
Good
afternoon.
morning. Good afternoon. I was like, who are you kidding?
I know, right? I hate
Good afternoon and good morning and good night, good evening, wherever you are and whenever time you're watching it. It is a Saturday.
It is. And what's happening today?
So, right now, we actually went out earlier today.
We did.
To be honest, just to get...
I have some words about that.
Craig has some words about that. We went outside earlier today to run a quick errand at our local alcohol provider. Just to be straight up. Grabbed some bottles, washed them, got ready, and now I am working on a strategy guide for one of our clients.
Yes.
So, for those who don't know, we do consultations, but we also do strategy guides, and that's if somebody wants to go a little bit more in depth and have a full customized strategy created for them for their platform. So, just working on that now. And we decided today that we are going to talk about, because this has come up more and more often lately, and we've talked about it before in videos, but never fully really dedicated something to it. We talked about it in a Q&A video, which I'll leave below briefly. The follow-unfollow method.
Yes.
And I think this video is going to be interesting because it's not just for people who did the follow-unfollow method. In the end, it's really going to be surrounding the fact of anyone who's done something that has compromised their engagement on Instagram, and our recommendation for what you could do to reverse the damage that you've done.
Yes.
Do you want to break down for those who might not know?
Yeah.
Or just to give some more clarity on what we're talking about?
Of course.
When we say follow-unfollow?
Follow-unfollow is a method of growth, and I was about to say, I don't know if anyone's into like SEO, but there was like white hat and black hat. So white hat strategies are just sort of the the typical things that are approved by the platform. Black hat are just kind of shady things that you can kind of do and kind of go around their rules and still achieve those goals, but quite often you get caught. So around, I want to say...
Like 2015 or something?
I was going to say a little earlier. I was going to say 2013 to 2015, okay. It was kind of popular. So predominantly, Instagram started in 2010. Twitter started in 2007, I believe. So it was mostly Twitter and Instagram, and they'd both, been around for a bit. So this is where those two platforms are where that strategy started. So the whole idea is what you do. You would go to another account that's similar to yours. So if you were a sports retail outlet, you go to another sports retail outlet, and you would start to follow all of their followers. And then you could also follow the people that they were following. Now, the point of that is that if you're following the followers of a similar business or brand, it's quite likely that those people will also appreciate what you're doing. So in the actual concept of it, like on paper, it's kind of sound. However, if you have watched any of our videos over the years,
like over the 1 year,
over a year and a bit, you'll know that we preach about organic and authentic engagement with your followers and your audience. What this method does, it does not create that. We're going to get into the details a bit later on, but the purpose is to grow your account, and it's a cheap tactic to get quick and easy followers that at the end of the day hurt your engagement and you hurt their engagement.
A little plant update, a little intermission for the plant update. Remember those who said that Pothy wouldn't make it? Determination, guys. Determination. And I don't think you can really see in there, but more is even growing. So we've successfully, I think, propagated this plant. And then we have one other soldier who's not looking too great over here. Well, focus. He's getting a little yellow. I had him in a Hendrix bottle, which is darker, it's more opaque, and I think that was actually hurting him. So now I've transferred him into a bottle from one of my favorite wineries, and that has a little bit more light going in, and I put him beside Pothy, this thriving Pothy, to hopefully throw some plant energy his way. So just a little update for the people who know, because if you know, you know. When you watched our 7-day vlog challenge, you were around for the updates. Okay, you ready to talk a little bit more about... Oh wait, okay. You have something to say.
Yeah,
I can see. You're upset.
Alright guys, I'm upset. So today's a beautiful day here in the northeast part of the country, the continent, I guess.
Montreal.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to say because it's nice in Toronto, it's nice in Vermont.
Oh yeah.
It's nice in Ottawa. So being that when there's blue skies, people go for walks. So we went out for a nice walk today to get the booze, which was nice and chill. It was the first day we didn't have to wear our big jackets, which was lovely. Now, what we noticed when we were walking, there were just mad people around, like insane amounts of people, which one would imagine, and we took the side streets too, and you would imagine that there will be more and more people around as the weather gets nicer. So I was kind of annoyed just walking because I just had to keep like ducking.
You were
like,
so annoyed.
I was pretty vexed. Like, it took me a little bit to get out of my annoyance today, because it was like it didn't matter on the footpath. People were there. Then they weren't walking like in the middle of the street to separate. People were just kind of brushing near you like it was nothing. Maybe 3% of people at best had a mask on. We always wear masks when we leave the house. Now, you can't really tell, but right behind me is a park. When we got back, we didn't walk near the park, but when we got back, I looked out the window and I was like, are you kidding me, fam? This happened maybe a few weeks ago, and now it is 10 times worse than what it was. The park is absolutely rammed. There is a popular spot down there as well that had a line of probably 20 or 30 people. They were distanced, but still, I just feel like people are not taking this seriously, and the main reason I'm extra upset about it is Quebec has, I think, 50% or more than 50% of the cases in Canada, and therefore I'm pretty sure the deaths are the highest death rate too.
I would imagine, yeah.
Just aligned with it, right? So the fact that people here just don't care, everybody's seeing, I'm talking like parents with a stroller and a baby.
People are having picnics.
Old people, yeah, Matt's having picnics there. It is absolutely out of control. I posted it on my personal Instagram stories before, and I had a whole bunch of people hit me up like, wow, what is wrong with them all? So I'm genuinely concerned. I think if this keeps happening and people just keep going, well, I'm fine, it's a nice day, like, what's the problem? Like, we're all good. And they don't realize that anything could give it to them and they could just continue to spread it. So please wash your hands and stay home. There's no reason to be sort of hanging. Going for a walk, Tiff and I were talking, the main thing is okay is if it's motion. If you're walking or running or whatever, exercising, even on a bike, do your thing. Do your walk, get your fresh air, but don't just hang out on a street corner or something and just talk to friends. Or
be
something.
So close to
it's
each other.
It's just so ridiculous, and I'm like, it's unacceptable. So please, if anyone is watching, I don't care where you are, just do it, because the sooner we get this over and done with, let's just suffer now before it's really nice. It's April. Imagine how it's going to be in July. It's going to be hot. We're going to be gagging to go outside.
Yep.
I would like to be able to.
What you said, which I like, you just suffer now and you take that now just so you can have a better tomorrow and a better future. And that is actually everything in life. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with the follow-unfollow segue, because you borrowed from the future engagement and community you could build for a cheap tactic today.
Ooh, that's a summary.
Should we get into it?
Let's go.
But first, coffee.
You are welcome. Coffee time?
All right, coffee time. I want to talk about the story of the follow-unfollow method, because it's actually not a crazy concept, right?
No.
It makes sense in terms of the rule of reciprocity.
Yes.
However, I want to paint the story.
Paint the picture.
You're the person doing this follow-unfollow thing, right?
Oh, me?
You follow me. I go to your profile. I'm not 100% interested, but you followed me. So then I feel obligated to follow you back. But remember, I wasn't in love with your content. So what happens when your content's served in my feed? I probably skip over it. And maybe it gets served 3, 4, 5 times, and every single time I do not engage with it. So what happens? You fall out of my algorithm. You stop being shown to me because Instagram understands that your content is not interesting. And what does that do? It puts a chink in your Instagram algorithm's engagement rate, right? So now all of a sudden, Instagram's like, when you're sharing this content, people aren't interested in it. And this is just me. I'm the person you followed and I followed you back, but you did this en masse. So my scenario is the same. There are all these people who you followed, and then they don't engage with your content, which means it decreases your ranking every single time. Each person that gets served your content who does not engage is a chink in your engagement armor. Okay?
I like it.
You dig that?
Yeah, I like it. It's a good metaphor.
Thank you. So I become a ghost follower, essentially. I become somebody who's following you who's not active. I generally become an inactive follower in a way. So there's 2 versions. There's an inactive follower who's the person who's just not using their account. And then there's kind of the ghost follower who's there, but they kind of disappear into the background, into the ether. They still exist, but Instagram understood that they weren't interested in your content, so they stopped being served. And now you just have me kind of there adding to this overall metric. So now in this process, you've compromised your account essentially, because now you've participated in this engagement tactic that is a cheap engagement tactic that has now resulted in your content being shown to less and less people over time because it's deemed as uninteresting by the algorithm. That's why you'll see somebody who has 50,000 followers and is only getting 200 likes. Now, we don't want people to be obsessed with numbers. It's never the point. The reason that you want to grow an account is so, and we say this all the time, is just it gives you an indication that you're doing something well. Yes. And the reason you want your engagement numbers to be high is that just also shows you you're doing something well. This content is resonating with people, but the number became the obsession for so many people, that follower number, which is why we got into the purchasing of followers and the follow-unfollow method and all these things just to have this big inflated number. The number does not matter. It is a vanity metric. What matters is the community behind that number. So it's not the number, it's the audience. So you have to stop thinking about your followers as followers. They're an audience that you're going to engage to do something. A television show in the background that's just on a bunch of screens and nobody's watching is not an audience. It just is a number that would say, hey, there's this many people who...
This many screens on.
This many screens on. But it's not an actual viewer. It's not an actual audience. With this, you're trying to grow an audience who will be engaged and purchase from you and follow you and love you and do whatever action it is that you want them to do. So if you are still right now doing follow-unfollow, or if you have done unfollow-follow, we're going to talk to you about how to get rid of those followers, and you're going to be the only one who stands in your way. There's going to be two things here. It's going to be, one, your pride is going to get in your way, and two, you not wanting to put in the time. Those are the only two things that are going to get in your way of cleaning up an account that you've compromised so that you can increase your engagement rate. And the engagement rate is a simple calculation. It is how many people are served a post and divided by how many people engage with that post. So that's what we're comparing. For as many people who see it, how many people like, comment, save, share, and do all those things that we're trying to prompt people to do. That lifts us in the ranking further because Instagram believes that we create fantastic content and it needs to be shared to more people so that people stay on the app longer. Remember, the one thing Instagram cares more about than anything is that people are staying on the app as long as possible. And if they think that you are compromising that, they're going to downgrade you. And that is why your engagement rate is low.
People might be wondering, is it actually possible to save an account that was compromised via either follow-unfollow or potentially maybe they purchased bots back in the day or something like that? Can an account be saved, or is it kind of done for forever?
Because there are some people who have, this is a great question, who are like, should I just delete my account and start over again?
Yeah.
That also, if that's, because honestly, that would be the fastest, easiest way to probably get that done, right? I don't think you have to. Now, we're going to give you recommendations based on the math of the algorithm and how the algorithm works. However, you're going to have to figure this out for yourself because there's so many other factors involved, right?
Yeah.
So, like, this is without us knowing what type of content you're still creating, who you're actually engaging with. Like, there's still all these other factors that contribute to whether somebody still wants to engage with your content anyways. But we do know that the algorithm serves posts out to a certain amount of people whenever they're shared. And if the number of people that you have there are actually real active followers, so when they see your content, they engage with it, your ranking is going to increase because of that. We're going with the positive route that there is an opportunity to save, but obviously having started an account from fresh that has not been compromised is going to be always the best case scenario.
Of course.
We actually do have a video that talks about Instagram growth, so this is perfect for you, especially if you started a fresh, non-compromised account, like you've never done anything bad. And it's so funny because it's like what UNFOLLOW was trying to do, but it's so less shady because you're letting people opt in. So in this video here, we break down our targeted interactions approach to engagement. And what that is actually introducing yourself to people in an organic, authentic way that gives them the choice to follow you. As opposed to doing this thing where you're forcing them a bit. You're increasing your chances of them following you back, but you're forcing them a bit. And then what's even worse, you go and unfollow them. So now you've just created this weird relationship with your audience, especially if they find out that you unfollow them, and then what was the point of everything that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So definitely recommend that video. It's almost hitting 100K, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you so much for everyone who's watching it. We've already got great feedback that it works because we know that it does. It's just that it takes time. With anything in life, it's going to take time. If you take the cheap, fast approach to something, you're going to get cheap, fast results, okay? When you actually put in in real effort, that's where success comes. Success will never be cheap and fast. Otherwise, everybody would be successful. It was easy to do it. So you just have to put in the real work. So we're going to get into what we think you should do in order to save your account, save your engagement rate, and be sure that you are seen to the people who matter and who actually will help your growth.
All right, so like Tiff was just saying, there is a way to actually remove all of those accounts that are ruining your algorithm, your engagement, all those things. Now, the two main things that are going to get in your way are time, because it is a very, very manual process, and your pride. Potentially just because you see those numbers reducing, and that's that vanity metric that we're also attracted to, because just told that was the only thing that matters was the volume, the follower number from the beginning. But if you can get past those two elements, it's going to really clean up your account, and you're going to give it a chance, like a second life. So most people don't know that you can actually remove the two main types of accounts that are following, or actually any account that's following you, but there are two main types of accounts that we're going to want to remove right now. One are completely inactive accounts, so they're likely real people, but they haven't posted since like 2015. They probably don't even use that one anymore. Maybe they started another account. Those ones are the least concerning of the two that we're going to be looking at today, just because whilst they're a real person, it's not a fake account. It's just they probably don't use it, and it's just taking up a follower that's not engaging with any of your content. The second are the full fake accounts. So we actually talked about it in this video here, where we broke down how to kind of tell the difference between the real accounts and ones that are fake. Now, some of the obvious telltale signs, they don't have a profile photo, and they often have very, very strange usernames, usually with a bunch of numbers and random words or jumbles of letters and stuff like that. The ones that are a little trickier are the ones that use typically non-English characters. So you use Russian, it's usually somewhere in the Indian subcontinent, or
unless you're from
Asia.
there.
I know that, but you can say the ones that there's usually like a bikini girl pic, and then a whole bunch of Arabic characters, and then you go in there and they've got 5 photos, and they're all the same. We've come across those before, where they're the same type. They must all be from the same farm that we get them from. We've found those in influencers accounts. So those are the main ones. So what Tiff's going to do is pop up the video on the screen now and show us how to do that. You hit followers, so they are all the people who are following your account, and then you're going to be scrolling up and down and just going to take a look at who's following you. So you're going to see, hopefully the ones to start with are the most obvious ones with the no profile photo and the strange name. You tap onto that, you see that they have generally no photos. The ratio's weird. If they've got any posts at all, if they're following many people at all, becomes immediately apparent that it's not a real account. So you go back out, and there's a little X button right next to the blue follow button. You hit that, and it actually lets you remove that follower, and that'll get rid of it completely. So if you are an account that has grown significant numbers, like in the tens of thousands, this with the follow-unfollow method, mate, you're in for a run. It's going to take you a while, but it's going to be very, very much worth it if you're trying to save that account. Now, that is the easiest way to clean it up. So one little bonus tip here, like we talked about in this video about how to engage with your followers, you could actually make this twice as good for you, because you can go into those accounts that are real, that are following you, and you can go and engage with them. So you can go in there, you can like a few photos. If you can, first of all, you got to make sure that they are a real follower, but you can like a few photos. If you feel the urge, shoot them a comment. But that potentially could bring them back into your algorithm, or bring you back into their algorithm. So it's kind of like a double win here, cleaning up your account and generating some more engagement. So yeah, it's going to take a while. So we're not 100% sure of all the actual limits for removing followers, because Instagram does have various limits of how many accounts you can follow in an hour, how many engagements you can do, whether it's comments or likes or whatever. So, and of course they change these things fairly regularly. So we would recommend that you kind of move slowly to begin with, spread it out throughout the day, spread it out each day, and just make it like a daily task. Since we're all at home, safe at home, it would be a good idea to just use some of that time to clean up your account once and for all. Especially because you should be engaging daily anyway. Exactly. So just you're adding it to your routine. Yes. It's auditing an account cleanup. Like you should be cleaning up. Exactly. Yeah. So it's cleaning up whilst doing what you should have been doing anyway.
So guys, that is what to do if you did the follow-unfollow method, or if you had purchased followers in the past and have these accounts that are basically just dormant and sitting there. Now, what I really like, and especially about what you said too, this is really key. What Craig said, go in and engage with those people that you aren't going to be removing as a follower.
Yes.
Because that's like, hey, remember me? I'm here still,
right?
And that could end up creating an engaged audience member, as we talked about earlier.
Yes.
So we want to know who did follow-unfollow. Okay, I'm joking. You don't have to tell us. We're not going to judge you.
We're not judging.
We're not going to judge you. It was something that was recommended. It's still recommended to this day on YouTube. I've
seen people see it.
And,
I want to do videos on like myth busting so bad. I'm not sure how you guys would feel about that, but
that's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong to say that. And I also just want to make it clear, you can follow people. We're not telling you not to follow people. We're talking about this gamification of the platform where you're doing this cheap follow-unfollow tactic. We recommend that you follow people who are right for your brand.
Yes.
That is actually one of our strategies in creating affinity in the algorithms. But to just follow any random person, especially when you're just following all these fast people, who's just like a lady with a dog and a family somewhere, why are you just randomly following her, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, and it looks weird as a brand to just be following just anyone. So be strategic with your follows. That's all we're saying.
That's it.
So thank you so much for joining us for our informational vlog. You guys said you liked this, so that's why we decided on a nice Saturday to just kind of, you know, go in and talk about something.
Yeah,
so
I love these ones.
This will be coming out Sunday. Oh yeah.
Good, yep.
Happy Sunday, guys.
Yes.
We will see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. You can follow us everywhere on social media at High Season Co. And shout out to all the new family over there on Instagram on High Season.
Yeah, a lot of you guys are coming through to our Instagram from
it's
YouTube,
great engaging with you, interacting. So like, hit us up there. Show us whenever you're watching our videos.
Yeah, post on stories. We'll repost that.
Yeah, we'll repost.
Give you some love.
Yeah, you know, and just talk to you, holler, you know. Like, I mean, we can talk. We're around, all right?
We're out here.
Yeah. We're around even more than we've ever been.
So take advantage when you can.
All right, guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.